Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday, November 18th. Alternative water supplies is a big talking point for Corpus Christi City Council today. They hold their regularly scheduled meeting. On the agenda are discussions regarding the suspended Inner Harbor desalination plant project.
Okay. It doesn't show on the system. Can you state your vote?
What did you vote?
Yeah, I voted nay.
Okay.
Guys, please.
That was audio from the September 3rd City Council meeting where members voted 6-3 to not move forward with Kiewit and the $1.2 billion project. City officials have since stated intent to bring the project back to City Council discussions, which begin today.
As mayor of the city of Corpus Christi, I will soon bring back the Inner Harbor desalination project before the City Council for consideration. I am asking each of you and everyone here to stand with me alongside our state delegation, the governor of Texas, and the people of Corpus Christi as we work together to secure a reliable water source for our future. This is my call to action.
That was Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo earlier this month at the State of the City address. The reaction around the project has been polarizing. Nonetheless, item 18 of today's agenda will revolve around discussions of authorizing a memorandum of understanding with Corpus Christi desal partners to prepare proposals for design and construction for the treatment campus. The memorandum will allow CCDP to prepare proposals at no cost to the city with price certainty for design and construction of the Inner Harbor desal project. CCDP will utilize all existing design documents that have been developed to date by previous contractor Kiewit to develop proposals for council consideration and approval. CCDP was the second-ranked design-build team in the original procurement process, just behind the initially selected Kiewit, the joint venture of companies formally committed to developing the new proposal to complete the project. If approved by council members, the city would present CCDP with existing data from Kiewit to assess the contractor's completed work to date. The joint venture group would then prepare a proposal establishing a preliminary guaranteed maximum price for design and construction before February 28th of 2026. Today's meeting is also expected to have an update from Director of Water Supply Management Brett Van Hazel on Texas Water Development Board loans as well as other project statuses. The presentation will also look at the city manager's proposal for design-build contract, community engagement, and far-field monitoring for Corpus Christi and Nueces Bays, as well as the ship channel, along with staff recommendations.
Important part of these projects is being a good neighbor. So one thing that has come up and we've talked a lot about is working with area well owners to help understand the operation of their wells and if their wells are seeing any impact from our well field operations. The western well field, there are no wells pumping right now. The eastern well field is online. We've reached out, we talked to individuals whenever we could, and we've said that we would help them monitor the water levels in their well, help them record them, show them how to do that. And we've also said that we would take water quality samples so that they understand the quality of the groundwater that they're using at their house, and we would provide that information to them as well.
That was Corpus Christi Water's interim COO Nick Winkleman speaking at last week's meeting. Far-field monitoring is one of the topics that will be covered in today's presentation. Winkleman, along with City Council and CCW officials, have met with city councils across the region to discuss alternative water supplies. They met with Rockport and Aransas Pass City Councils within the past week and will meet with Sinton City Council later today. They plan to attend a Lavaca Navidad River Authority board meeting in Edna tomorrow. Meanwhile, back in Corpus Christi, public comment session signups for today's meeting are available online at corpuschristitx.gov. In the Rio Grande Valley, McAllen ISD is removing the 10 Commandments from being displayed in classrooms. McAllen ISD staff received a memo on Sunday from Superintendent Rene Gutierrez instructing teachers to remove postings of the 10 Commandments from classrooms. The decision was made as the district awaits a ruling from a federal court in an ongoing legal dispute. Back in September, Senate Bill 10, which mandates the display of the 10 Commandments in public school classrooms, was signed by Governor Abbott and went into effect. A federal lawsuit was filed a month prior claiming the new law conflicts with federal law and violates civil rights under the First Amendment of the Constitution. Over 20 parents from across the state joined the lawsuit to sue their respective Texas public school districts, including Maribel Villarreal of Hidalgo County, who filed against McAllen ISD. In a motion to dismiss filed last month, McAllen ISD acknowledged that the Supreme Court held a similar law to be unconstitutional in its 1980 ruling of Stone versus Graham. A federal judge granted the motion to dismiss and issued an order requiring McAllen ISD to not post the Ten Commandments while litigation is pending. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit last week against the Texas Higher Education Coordination Board. Texas Public Radio's Jerry Clayton has more.
The suit argues that 3 state-funded work-study programs violate the First Amendment. The programs, the Texas College Work-Study Program, the Works Internship Program, and the Innovative Adult Career Education Grant Program, bar participants from engaging in sectarian activities or enrolling in seminary studies. Paxton says the restrictions amount to unconstitutional discrimination against religious students and exclude religious organizations that offer only sectarian work opportunities. Paxton called the rules, quote, anti-Christian. The programs provide more than $8 million in state funding to financially disadvantaged college students with jobs both on and off campus. I'm Jerry Clayton in San Antonio.
And a record low of Texas students left high school without graduating last year. That's according to an analysis of state data by the Intercultural Development Research Association. Texas Public Radio education reporter Camille Phillips explains.
After adjusting for changes in enrollment, IDRA found an 18% high school attrition rate last year. That's 4 points lower than the year before and a marked improvement from when IDRA began the study in 1986. However, IDRA's data is much less rosy than the nearly 91% high school graduation rate reported by the Texas Education Agency. The nonprofit research group believes the state's data is inflated by excluding students who should be counted as dropouts, but are instead listed as leaving for other reasons. I'm Camille Phillips in San Antonio.
And I'm Rob Boskamp, and that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. Thank you for listening on this Tuesday. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.